Well, it's that time again. It's time for the craft show. Welcome and thank you for joining us for yet another fantastic edition of the Craft Show. Now I just want to take this opportunity, as I do at the beginning of every single show, if you've not got the message by now, we're only available online, which is a really good thing, because what that means is it doesn't matter where in the world you are watching, you can watch us, which is fantastic. And of course it means you can repeat, rewind and watch our videos again later on. But what's really, really important is to not to forget, ain't got my teeth in, to press the subscribe button. That's really, really important. So if you haven't done that, or your friends haven't done that, tell them, hit subscribe. And of course, pop over to our Facebook page as well and click like. That's www.facebook.com/The Craft Show TV. Obviously. And we are innovative here at the Craft Show, and we have brought you something very innovative and crafty today, so don't miss out on that. But before we show you that, it's time to introduce you to our guests. Did you notice that? Because there's two guests today. Yes, there are Dudley and Lauren! Keep it going. Keep it going. Control. Do you like it? So we've got Lauren and Dudley, or Dudley and Lauren. Dudley and Lauren, you have brought us something fantastic to show everybody at home today. Yep. Something, in fact, that I have never seen on, well, I don't think I've seen it on telly, let alone seen it on a craft show. You're going to be showing us the 3D printing pen.
Yep.
Now, we should remind you that we don't sell anything here on the Craft Show, so we're not bringing this to you as a product. Lauren and Dudley, they don't sell it either. This is just a very crafty product, a very crafty item that you can have at home and, well, use it for all sorts of things, can't you? Yeah. But before we talk to you too much about the product, I'm going to introduce you to Dudley and Lauren. Tell us a little bit about how you've come to be working with this.
So we come from, or we're based in the Cambridge Forge in Spalding, in the innovation area.
Okay.
Up there we've got a 3D printer, as well as recently, as of October 2017, we got some 3D pens. And we've just been playing with them, making a whole host of different arty crafty things, just to push the limit and see what extra interesting things that we can make. And
to innovate, of course, because it's the Innovation Centre. Yeah. And what are your roles then within the Cambridge Forge Innovation Centre?
So
we're both volunteers there.
Okay.
We create products and we show people 3D printing.
Yeah.
And we also do craft lessons.
So we do some workshops. We have a workshop for 3D modelling for 3D printing, so we can show or teach people how to make something in a computer and actually have it 3D printed after a 2-hour session. Or we can show, have a session where we teach 3D pens. So people who are interested in 3D pens who don't have them could actually come to us, have a play, learn the techniques before going to buy a 3D pen themselves.
So you're both volunteers at the Cambridge Forge Innovation Centre. And the thing I think with the pens as well is when we first sort of came across these, what was going through my mind was computers and design and needing a 3D printer. It never really occurred to me, the pens never occurred to me as being a crafty item, but of course the things you can do with them, just phenomenal, really, phenomenal. So we're going to show you some of those things today. In fact, we've got 2 demos coming up today. Dudley, your demo is a little bit more involved, but please do stay tuned for that. You're going to like what he's going to make, and some of the things we're going to make generally a lot. And the great thing about these is they're very affordable. Again, we don't sell these, but they're what, £20 or £30?
Between 20 or 30.
20 or 30 pounds, and you don't need a computer
No.
to be able to use one. It's just going to be like using a modelling pen or a colouring pen
or a hot glue gun.
A hot glue gun.
Yeah, very much like a hot glue
Perfect.
gun. Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to say goodbye to Dudley just for the moment. Lauren, we're going to be doing some decorating using the 3D pen. This is really exciting, very innovative. We're looking forward to this. So, let's get crafting. Well, thank you for staying with us. We are, of course, about to do some decorating with the 3D pen. Dudley's left us. He's going to be back a little bit later to show us something a bit more in depth. But Lauren is going to be talking to us a little bit about the 3D pen. We're going to have a go with it. And some of the things that you can use to decorate, things you can decorate with. I mean, the list is just endless, isn't it?
Yeah. As long as the product you're printing onto isn't porous or heat resistant.
Yeah. To some
Well,
degree.
it has to be heat resistant.
So we don't want to be using, we don't want to be decorating on clothes with it and that kind of thing because it's not a material. But things like lampshades.
Lampshades, as long as they're heat resistant.
Yeah.
So not a cloth lampshade.
Yeah. Hard iPad cases, that kind of thing you'd use. Not the iPad itself. Don't do that. We don't earn enough to get sued.
iPad.
So the iPad cases, you could also use it to decorate maybe phone cases. Jewellery boxes, all sorts of things. We've got this here that we've decorated. What else have we got? You could do vases with it maybe, and Humpty Dumpty.
That's Humpty Dumpty, yes.
There he is. I like his hair as well. Very nice. Right, okay. So before we start actually doing some decorating, these are the pens that we're going to be using. Can you just talk us a little bit around the pen and show us at home how we use it and how it works?
So this is a Polaroid 3D pen, 3D play pen. It has to be plugged in all the time when you're using it. It has two holes at the top. So one is your plug-in. Don't plug in to the other side. We have the on-off switch, which also, when you're turning it off, it pushes the material back out for you.
Okay.
We have the extractor button, so that pushes the material through when you're using it.
Yeah.
Press it once and it keeps a continuous stream of filament.
Yeah.
And if you just press it on and off,
then
it does very simple short burst of filament.
Okay. And then what are these two on the side here?
That's the speed settings. So the Polaroid pen has 4 settings. So fastest to slowest, obviously. Press down 4 times, you're on your slowest. Press up 4 times, you're on your fastest.
Okay. Are you sure you don't work for Polaroid? Because she's doing a good job.
Sponsoring.
She's doing a good job selling it. Okay, so pretty straightforward. So it's always plugged in all the time. Okay, we put the filament. You called it the filament. That would be like the equivalent. That's the material. That's like the ink, if you like, or the lead in a pencil. That's what we use.
Yeah.
So how does it work? It heats. The filament goes in.
It has several stepping motors through the, I suppose, the body of it, and it pulls the material through to the hot end.
Yeah.
And this heats up to about 190 degrees C.
Okay.
So the very, very end is very, very hot. Don't touch that.
Yeah, and don't let your kids touch that either, because obviously we don't want them to get burned.
Yeah, if you've got kids under 8 or something like that, don't let them play with it.
But it's but the body of the actual thing stays relatively cool, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it's only the hot end that gets hot, so you can comfortably hold it.
Yep.
And you're not going to feel the heat from that. Unless, of course, you go print right next to your hand.
Yes, so be sensible. And of course, there'll be a wide range of these on the market. We haven't tested them or tried them or anything else. This is the one that we're having a go with today, and they're about £20 or £30. So pretty cheap, really. Now, I think the thing is with some of these things, it's like when you buy a printer. The printer can sometimes be very cheap, but the ink can be very expensive. That's not the case with this, though, is it? It's pretty good value. What do we put in it? You've got some reels of it there, the filament.
So we have some reels of filament. These are a 1/4 kilogram filament reels. This is PLA, polylactic acid, which is a biodegradable plastic. And this comes in size of 1.75 millimeters. That's the only size that fits in this pen.
Yes.
So if you buy something bigger, that's not going to fit in the pen.
No, okay. So you need to make sure that you buy the right size filament for the pen, whichever pen you choose to get. And the whole idea of the craft shows is all about sharing, of course. And we like to show you things on the craft show that you can do at home. That's really important, and that's one of the reasons we wanted to show you this today. So we load it. You're going to show us, I'm sure, how to load this. So we put the filaments in. How do we? What about if we? Does it get stuck in the pen? Do we have any problems from that point of view?
There are times when if you leave it too long, it can clog up a little bit, but it's relatively easy to unclog itself.
Yeah. So it's pretty straightforward. Okay, well,
don't let the filament run out in the pen, because that damages the stepping motors.
Okay, so make sure it doesn't run out.
But don't do as I say, not as I do. Right. Don't let it run out in the pen.
So you can obviously afford 20 or 30 quid each. No problem, we'll get a new one. So, okay, so it's pretty straightforward. So we can decorate all sorts of things. We talked about iPod cases and phone cases and all different things. What are we going to be having a go on decorating today?
We are going to be decorating Easter eggs.
Easter eggs? It's not Easter.
Leftover Easter eggs.
Leftover Easter eggs. It doesn't matter. But we can decorate all sorts of things. So we're going to be. You can get these, of course, online. We can get eggs and shapes and things, all sorts of things you can get online. So it just needs to be. It doesn't want to have a very, very low melting temperature, because obviously that comes out relatively warm. But we can decorate most things with it. We can make all sorts of pretty patterns like this. But there's something a bit different about the ones that we're going to have a go on today. These. What's special about these?
We 3D printed those ourselves at the Innovation Centre.
Okay, so you've actually made these yourselves from scratch using an actual 3D printer.
Yes.
Now, I've seen the 3D printer, and you would think ordinarily, oh, God, that's going to be thousands and thousands of pounds, big bit of kit and all the rest of it. I was quite surprised that you can get them for home now.
You can. They're on the home market for, I suppose, in the range of about £200 to over 1,000. So
yes.
Obviously shop around.
So quite a good rate, but that's really affordable. So you could be printing this sort of thing at home as well. Now, if you've ever wondered how you would 3D print something, we're not going to be demonstrating that today on the 3D printer. If you'd like to know how we got to this stage, have a look at this. So there you go. Wow. You know, if you've got a 3D printer at home, you can make one of those as well. So we've made our own. So, Lauren, you're going to show us how to get decorating. So what do we do?
First, we're going to pick our filament. So we've brought 5 colours with us today. So what do we use? So just pick one. Oh, you've got white as well. You got white. We've got a small packet of white with us.
What colour are you having?
I'm going to be doing red and yellow.
Oh, you've got 2, have you?
Yeah.
So I've got the leftover ones. I've got red and blue. Or red, white and blue. Very British. Or French. Or American. Whatever. Okay, so we take the... Find the end of it. It's like sellotape, isn't it?
You can't find the end of it when you need it.
There we go. Okay. So do they... Is this a sort of quite standard they come on these reels like this?
Normally you'd get them in the smaller packets,
yeah.
But the reels...
We're using a lot of it.
Yeah,
you're using a lot.
It's a lot more cost effective, really.
And I saw actually you had a very innovative design in the Innovation Centre for these, because obviously you're using these all the time. They came with a brilliant little holder for these, didn't you? And it was like a pole thing that goes, so you just put it on, and it's just then when you use it, it just
rolls off.
Brilliant. Ooh, okay, making a joint now. There we go. Right, so how do we load it?
We're going to use clippers.
Okay.
We're going to cut off a length of it.
Okay.
I'm probably doing quite a generous length, but I also kind of don't trust you not to break it.
All right, let's not go. I knew she was going to bring this up. What did I broke 2 things when we came and had a look at your place, didn't I? What did I break? A little glass screen. You
broke the glass screen for the phone adapter, because you can sort of draw on phones, but you can get these little sort of glass screens so that you can draw patterns on there,
On the
which
screen.
he immediately snapped.
All right. Wasn't anything broke either, was it?
There was
the chimney. Was it the
chimney.
chimney off the house?
The chimney on the model forge, and I think there was a couple other things.
A couple of other things. Right, let's move on. Right, how do we load? How do we load it? Okay. So take it out of the stand.
Need to turn on your pen.
Okay, so just turn it on the side there.
On the on-off button.
Do I hold it in? Don't tell me I've broken this as well. I knew this was coming.
Sorry, this one comes a bit loose.
Oh, okay. There we go.
There you go.
There we go. Okay, so we've both got some filament.
You need to wait for your...
Oh, mine's gone off.
Sorry.
Technical issues.
Technical issues.
Oh, that's it. So I think I've got a bit of a loose connection. And on the pen. Okay, right. You've got to bear in mind that you use these day in, day out, don't you, in your workshop? So.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait for that to go blue.
You need to
Mine's
wait
gone
for...
off. Show us on yours while we sort that out. We're not selling them, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so yours has gone blue.
Sorry, it just switched itself off.
Yeah, so what happens is a safety feature. This is going well, isn't it? Hey?
Yeah.
Safety feature is if you leave it on, which of course these have been plugged on. Mine's gone blue now, so all right. That in order to, because they get warm, they switch themselves off, and before they switch themselves off, any of the filament that is still in the pen, it kicks that back out, doesn't it? Basically, to stop it going cool in there. So they've thought of everything. Clever bunnies. Right, let's have another go now. Right, so we get the filament. Oh, mine's gone off again. That's it. Just use yours.
Yeah. I'll let you borrow it. It's
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. So you put that, you poke that in there.
Poke that in the hole.
Okay.
And then you press once. And it starts taking in the filament. I'm going to speed it up a bit.
Just for time. I can hear that. Can you hear that?
You should be able to hear that, but
Yeah.
I've used mine a lot.
Oh. That's not a selling feature then.
No.
And it goes. So it's drawing the filament through the body of the pen to the end,
Yeah.
and then this end heats up, and that's essentially sort of melts it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There it is. Now, is that
can
not
see.
hot on your fingers when that comes out there?
It's only warm at this stage, so I'm just letting it run through because I've used it before.
Yeah.
I'm letting the old colour run out.
Oh, okay. So it's quite hot inside and at the tip, but by the time you touch it, it's not too hot.
So already that is set into hard plastic.
Wow. And it's the same material that we used in the actual printer, isn't it?
Yeah, it's PLA.
PLA. Okay, so we're going to do some decorating. Right, so what are you going to be doing on yours? I'm going to have a go at loading mine when you're doing that. Oh, we're off and running.
I am going to be doing some small flowers, so I'm going to start by doing the middles of them all around it.
Okay. Wait for that to turn blue. Mine does keep coming unplugged here. Right. That's it. It's gone blue. So I'm going to put that in the end. And then what button do I press? This one?
Yes.
Oh, do I have to hold my finger on it?
You hold it to do bursts, and then you press it once to do continuous.
Oh, I can feel it going. It's going in. It's going in. We're all right. So I just think of all, because we were quite amazed when we came across these, all the things that you could use this on. All sorts of things. Decorate furniture with it, couldn't you? Plastic furniture.
You could probably do it on metal furniture as well. I haven't experimented yet. I'm also looking to try to do it on canvases.
Oh, that's a good idea.
But I feel that
Oh,
you
hello.
need to get sort of glue or some sort of adhesive so that it actually stays on there.
Yes. So
I imagine it would
presumably
be like that doing furniture.
you want something presumably that's not too smooth. Then if it's got a little bit of what's the word? If it's not perfectly smooth, it's got a better chance of staying on, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, look at
We'll
that.
say that.
There we go. I like it. Right, let's see if mine stays on long enough. Oh, bugger's gone off again. Okay.
Sorry, it must
That's
be a
all
loose
right.
connection.
There we go. There we go. We've got action again. You just bear in mind that these guys use these literally all day, every day. So I think I've just got a bit of a dodgy connection on mine there. Never mind. Okay, so what are you doing on yours? You're doing the flowers.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, okay. Oh, I'm giving up on mine. I'm giving up on mine. You keep decorating yours. So I'm just trying to think of all the different things you could use. We talked about possibly using it to decorate a mug earlier or something like that, but we need to experiment and have a go on that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Jewellery boxes I was thinking as well, make nice gifts too. Lunch boxes for taking to school or taking to work, so that they are, you know that they're yours. That's a good thing. I like the lampshade idea. I think that's an excellent idea as well. What else could we use? We could create, you know, decorate clocks with them. Get those cheap clocks from the discount shop and decorate those, and all sorts of stuff. All sorts of stuff. If you think of anything that we can decorate with them, put it in the comments below the video, and let's have a look. Let's have a look. So it's almost, that reminds me a little bit, Lauren, of icing a cake.
It is a lot like icing a cake. It has more like piping a cake. So
Piping,
this
yes.
is like your piping bag. Need to have a good angle. Need to have a good amount of filament left, or filling.
Yeah. That's really, really like piping decoration onto a cake. And then we've got Humpty. Can you just pass me Humpty Dumpty there? So I really like what you've done here. You've really gone to town. Did you do this one?
Dudley did this.
Dudley, this one. You're going to be seeing him in a minute. But look how he's, and this is an egg under here, isn't it? This is one of these eggs. And then he's created the arms on there as well and the legs. He's really gone to town with it. Really clever.
Drew those separate. So we get like these sheets of plastic from laminating.
Yeah, laminating sheets. Yeah.
So we just sort of laminated nothing, and you can easily draw onto here and peel off. So
oh, okay.
That's how we did the arms and legs and stuff.
Oh, I see. So you can actually do things flat and then take them off and attach them.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Well, unfortunately, mine's a bit poorly at the moment, but Lauren's is looking great, and you can see the sort of things she can do. Now, I don't know about you, but I think this is fairly thirsty work. Do you think it's thirsty work?
Oh, I could do with a cuppa.
Could you?
Yeah.
She took the words right out of my mouth. Steve, get the kettle on! He's a bit slow.
It's a bit.
Yeah. We'll have a biscuit in the meantime. While we're doing that, take a look at this.
Hi everyone, I'm Alison from the Craft Centre in Bourne. I'm going to be bringing you today's craft show quickie, and we're going to be adding some little embellishments to the Japanese doll that we made in a previous episode. I'll quickly run through how we made her. If you haven't seen this show, go and have a look. It's over 2 episodes. Go and have a look at it and you'll see in detail how we've made her. But I'll just quickly go through today how we've got to this point, and then I'll show you how to add these little flowers to her dress. You can put them in her hair, wherever you like. So we started off by making 2 shapes, one for her head, one for her body. Basic flat bottomed teardrop shape for her body, and then a ball for her head. We've added a little bit of the flesh colour to her body, which just is this little bit here where her dress isn't, and then obviously we've added the flesh to her head. We've left a little fluffy bit underneath here so that you can attach her head to her body. So we do that, attach her head to her body like so. Then once we've got her head on her body, we can add the dress underneath. So that's the next step, and then we can cover with the little cardigan or jacket and the belt. So we added the dress first. This is the one that I made on the show, so you can see. Add the blue for her dress first. Then we add the little bit of edging detail, so the band for her belt and the top of her dress. We've added those in a nice pink colour, needle felted those on, and then we've added the cardigan over the top to hide the edges of the belt. Then we made the sleeves for her jacket and her hands. Her hands were made out of the same flesh colour, needle felted into a little mitten shape, added on, and then the sleeve over the top. The sleeve was made as a little strip like this, and then put on over her jacket with her little hand underneath. Her hair was made out of some black roving, which we put on in 2 strips. So we put a strip on this way, and then needle felted that on, and then we put a strip on in the opposite diagonal direction, needle felted that on, left a little bit here at the back, just a short bit, which we needle felted to her head to cover the back of her head, and then these long bits here which we've left, we pull round to the back and then twist round to make the bun at the back of her head, and then needle felt that on. It does look a bit untidy at the moment, but you get the idea. That's all in the tutorial, so go and have a look at that, and then it'll explain in much more depth how to get that on. I'm just going to explain now how to make these little flowers. I've made some before, and I put a couple of them in her hair, which looks really nice. So if I pull this one over to the front, then you can see I've used the same colours I'm using in her belt. So you want a strip of the roving. It needs to be the roving really. The other, you can use the sort of carded fibre. It's a little bit more tricky to handle to make the flowers. So get your piece of roving. I like to hold one end in between my finger and grip it tight, because I need my thumb and forefinger to grip this other end of this roving as I'm twisting. Just wet my fingers of the other hand so that I've got a bit of something to grip onto, and we're going to twist this bit of fibre between my thumb and forefinger, and then grab that end to stop the twist coming out, and just keep going. So twist and grab, twist and grab, and we're just going to keep twisting. I don't know what this is likened to, but all it's doing is twisting back on itself. Can you see how it's springing like that? So I'm just going to twist and grab until it really won't twist anymore. It's completely twisted itself up. Then take it out of your finger, and then you can just give that one last twist, hold it tight, grab hold of the 2 ends, and then you've got a little flower shape there. Then you can put that on wherever you want it to go. Hold it down with a finger, take one of your needles, stab some of this end, this free end in that was the bit that you grabbed. You can cut that excess off if you want to, like that, just to tidy it up, and then just push that flower over the top of that end that you've just cut off, just to tidy it up, and then attach this down. It's going to take you a little while to get this to attach because it's so tightly wound that there's not a lot of sort of loose fibre left. As you can see, that one's come off, but if you just keep stabbing, it will attach down like that. So I'll just show you that quickly again with a different colour so you can see the difference. So I'm just going to take a piece like so, hold that between that finger, just wet the fingers of this other hand so it gives me something to grip. Just keep twisting. Until it twists back itself. You could even use 2 of the 2 different colours and twist them together, which would give a nice effect. Twist it up until it twists right back on itself. Put this one in her hair. Attach the end down. If you've only got a tiny little bit of this end left, you can attach that in, cover it up so you don't see it. So put that underneath like that. Put the flower down. Ooh. And there you have it. Hope you enjoyed this craft show quickie, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that. We've just been having our crafty brew, haven't we? I'll finish that now. I'll stick that out of the way. So, don't forget, if you want to do a craft show quickie, by the way, let us know, because we're always looking for people to do craft show quickies. Now, just in case you think Lauren's rapidly changed appearance, she hasn't, because it's Dudley. We're back with Dudley now. Yep. And I'm pleased to say we found the problem that I had with my pen. What was it?
We had the wrong wiring.
And it was plugged into the wrong cable.
Human error.
Human error. So I'm going to carry on decorating the egg. Lauren has not gone anywhere. She's still over there. She's still decorating her egg over there. And we're going to have a look at her finished product when we come back at the end of the show. In the meantime, Dudley is going to be showing us something a little bit more involved, yes, aren't you? Because we've been looking at this to sort of do decorating and things, but you can use it to create.
Yep, you can use it to create a whole host of different things, from small little artistic pieces. You can create characters. You can create decorations. So this is a Halloween-inspired character, but here we actually have a Christmas tree angel that was made. Completely using the 3D pen. This was also created using the 3D pen, but something that
hang on, it's fine. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, another. So here is one of the plants that we've made using the 3D pen. This is a Jasmine Flower. Again, completely.
Blimey, it's like a florist shop in here.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So all of these flowers were made using the 3D pen, using a lot of different techniques, as well as not just the 3D pen, but also a heat gun.
And the heat gun as well, so we're going to be having a look at that.
Yes, so we'll look at that. And today, actually, I'm going to be working on a daffodil, a small daffodil.
So you're going to be showing us how, because I couldn't, when I first saw this, I'm just going to pinch this out.
Yeah,
that's it. At the risk of breaking it. Sorry, Lauren. Because I looked at that and I thought, well, how do you do that? Are you doing that and sort of building it up this way, or you know, you wouldn't believe that you can create something like that with a 3D pen, but actually, the process behind it is surprisingly straightforward, isn't it? Yeah. Show us how we go about doing it. So
what we've all right, so we'll pop these back over there.
Okay.
All right. So what I've done, I've developed from so you can do this by finding patterns online, on Google, or you can make them yourselves. I made these myself through a little bit of trial and error.
Yeah.
But basically, what we've got here is we have a pattern for the daffodil. All right.
Now, crafters at home will be familiar. This kind of pattern is something you download practically anywhere. Just type it on Google. You might use if you were doing a paper cutout, if you were doing material, anything like that. So you could use something that was really designed for another purpose and use it use the 3D pen.
So like for example, using something to like a pattern for making clothes, you can then take the pattern, scale it down, and actually print something using the pen and the heat gun to actually create some sort of doll's house garment for a doll's house character.
Or even the doll's house itself.
Yeah.
Even that. Print it off. So you print it off, literally print it off the printer, conscious of copyright, of course. Yeah. And then how do you stop the? How do you stop it sticking?
So what we've done is we've laminated it, but you can get thin plastic sheets.
Okay.
As long as they've got enough heat resistance, they should be fine.
Which of course laminating sheets you'd have.
Exactly, yeah. And all you do is you put it over so it's laminated, or you put the sheet of plastic over the top of the paper, and then you use a fine sandpaper to actually rough it up so it's not completely smooth. So if you feel that, you can actually feel that it's not completely smooth.
Only just. A bit like when you're keying to repaint something, just to give it something to take to.
Exactly. And then that helps the 3D pen filament to actually adhere to this and not bunch up or peel off before you're done.
Before you're ready. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a go. So we've got the pen. I'm going to get my pen going again now. Right, now we've got it sorted.
What I'm going to use, so you've got red in there.
I've got red in here, yeah.
I'm going to use white, and I'm going to do a little petal.
Okay.
So I'm just going to demonstrate how the process of actually drawing the shape in 2D at the moment will be, and then we'll go over to the whole lot that I've actually done previously,
and try and put it together.
We'll put it together. Exactly. Brilliant. Yeah.
So mine's gone blue now. I'm ready for action now. Right. So you're going to do yours, and while you're doing that, I'm going to make a start on mine. Okay. Right,
so here we go. The white's going in. Now we've used black with this last, and black is a pain. If you print with black, try using it last, because otherwise it can stain the filament, and the black filament likes to hang around in colour and mess up colours later.
So because it's, again, we were talking earlier about a bit like it's using a piping bag when you're doing cake decorating. So it'd be like refilling the piping bag.
Right. So if I stop that there. Okay. So what I'll do.
You know what surprises me is it stops relatively quickly. I thought that if you've ever done any corking or used a sealant gun to go around your bathroom, you might have done. And you go around, and then when you stop pulling the trigger, you get a bit of run on, and it keeps coming out. But you don't really get that with this, do you? When you stop the trigger,
because
it stops.
So these pens have a nifty little feature known as retraction, and retraction means that as soon as you stop the flow, it will actually reverse the motor ever so slightly backwards to actually pull the material back, to decrease the clogging and decrease stringing.
Okay. I'm grinning as I'm looking at me design.
But as you can see, I'm
like a big kid. This is fun, isn't it?
Going slowly to fill in completely this leaf. Now it doesn't necessarily matter if you've got a few gaps, because what I'm going to do later is I'm going to turn it around and just roughly go around the back, so there is a texture on both sides, because as you'll see when I lift it off, the side that is actually on the piece of paper is will be very smooth.
That looks like it's silver.
Yeah, that's because we had black in it beforehand, and
so
as I said, it mixes slightly. If you're using other colours, they are usually purged out of the pen a lot easier.
Okay.
But black likes to stick around for a lot longer.
It's good fun, this. It's like being a kid again.
It's just like colouring.
It is, isn't it?
Except you're just using a different material than ink, and you're having to think slightly more in 3D terms, mainly with this. So there we go. That's one petal done. Now,
wow, that was super fast.
Now to make the daffodil, you need 6, and as you can see, it illustrates how many of each thing that you would actually need.
So again, you could just download this. It's something similar to this. Laminate it. Laminate the sheet, and then Bob's your uncle. And how easy? So you laminate it, you just very lightly key it using some sandpaper, and that comes off so easily.
Comes off so easily. So as you can see here, it's textured on the side that I was drawing, but this side is very flat and shiny. All right.
Yeah.
So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to go over it like so, to just add a little bit of texture and fill in any unwanted holes.
So what you've done is you've created the first piece flat so that you can peel it off. And then once you've taken it off, you've then got a surface that you can continue to decorate. It's incredible. And you can see the principle behind that now, can't you? How each one of these is a different component, and then it's been put together. Think of all the different things you could do.
And all the different flowers. I mean, we've had, at the innovation area, we've actually had artists come in interested in using the 3D pen to prototype art installations that they will want to make out of wire and metal in different locations and galleries. So that's another method that you can actually use. That's
really clever, really clever.
So there we go.
Just while you're doing that, because what we like to do is we invite you at home to send in any pictures that you have and details of any workshops that you might be holding. Now, there might be a workshop that you're holding, it might be a workshop that you attend, but we ask you, please send in the details of the workshops, because we would love to spread the word. The craft show is all about sharing and the craft community. Remember, we don't sell anything here at the craft show whatsoever, so it's very important that that we keep liking those pages and sharing. So we've been sent in a picture of a crafty workshop which was held at Let's Be Creative, which is down on the south coast somewhere, sort of Portsmouth, Southampton, that kind of area, by Brigitte O'Brien. Blimey, you don't get much more of an Irish sounding name than that, do you? Brigitte O'Brien. Hello Brigitte, if you're watching. And there's a picture of her crafty group. You got to watch out for them, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
Hey, watch out for them. Bridget, thank you for the picture. Don't forget, please keep sending in the details, and we will put on the screen. We've probably put it on already. The details of the Let's Get Creative craft group, so you can attend yourself. Okay, right, where are we up to?
All right, so now that I've demonstrated how to actually draw in 2D for the principle of making the daffodil, we will actually now jump forward. So I've already pre-printed everything. Now I'll go into a bit more detail on the stem in a bit, but to begin with, I'm actually going to start assembling the head of the daffodil.
So he's just going to show us the principle behind it.
Yeah.
Because we have, I think we've got, what have we got, Steve? About 7 or 8 minutes?
7 minutes.
7 minutes. So we're going to start showing you how to do that.
All right. So to begin with, now what I've done with the pattern is actually, because I've designed this pattern myself, I've actually created a little instruction.
Oh, okay, that's a good idea.
To explain.
He's thought of everything.
How a daffodil is created.
That's brilliant. I like that a lot.
So I'll just use this just to follow along, just to show that it is workable. So what we'll do is we'll place 3 petals like so to begin with. Then using the pen. Now what we're going to do is we're going to basically what I refer to it. It might have a different name, but we're basically welding the flowers together.
Okay.
So
it's kind of heat welding, isn't it?
Yeah. So we use a little bit of material and we join one like that.
And how quickly does that?
Very quickly. It sets very quickly. You just have to give it a little bit of time.
Okay.
But not a lot. It literally, as soon as you spread it out, as soon as it comes to about this distance, it starts rapidly cooling.
Okay.
If you build up a larger blob of it, basically, it will take longer to cool.
Okay. And one thing I was concerned about when I first saw these was, if we get it on Alison's craft desks, my life won't be worth living. Alison, of course, from the Craft Centre in Bourne, who very kindly, she's kind of our landlady, really. She's like the royalty of craft landladies in Bourne, because she lets us use her shop for free. So that's great. That's where we are now. So don't forget to check out her page, the Craft Centre Bourne. Is it .co.uk or .com?
The website,
.com.
.com.
Yeah. The Craft Centre Bourne .com. I should know that by now. And don't forget to check out her Facebook page as well. Please do have a look, because we offer to do that. And one of the things I was concerned about was if any of this got onto Alison's lovely tables, that it would stick. But actually, unless you're doing it directly on the table,
exactly.
If anything drops off, you can literally, and I've just picked that up off the table, you've not got to worry about that, have you?
No, exactly. It peels straight off.
It just comes straight off. It's like just a bit of plastic.
So you're safe then for now.
So it's, yeah. She said I'm safe for now. For the minute. Keep it on that clipboard, you.
Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a large blob now, or not a large blob, but a blob to just help stick these two together.
So when you push it down, it just because it's not completely dry until you push it down, it's cooling down. That helps to
and then we just weld it ever so slightly.
Brilliant.
Under there, just to reinforce it.
And if you can hear that noise in the background, it sounds like RoboCop. It's Lauren decorating her egg still.
Alright, so now what we're going to do quickly with the heat gun. Steve, please.
Oh. Your glamorous assistant.
Oh, thank you.
His glamorous assistant couldn't make it today.
So what we're going to do
So we've got Steve.
Is we're going to heat.
I'd be a liar if I said I'd been near one of those recently. Hairdryer. But that's actually a heat gun, isn't it? All you crafters, you'll have heat guns at home. So that just makes it pliable then?
Yes, so you can actually create shapes.
Look at that.
Post printing.
And that's how the magic happens.
So what we do
is
we will wait a moment for it to cool. So while I'm waiting for that to cool, I'm just going to take out my white.
So you press the button there and it just reverses.
Indeed.
And takes out the filament.
Yeah. And then if I can find the end.
Find the end. Just while you're doing that, I'll finish my creation. Now you might think that just looks a bit of a mess, but in actual fact, I needed some inspiration, and Steve had to be the inspiration.
Where's my hat?
That's why I've left the ball bit on the top. You can keep that.
It's a self-image of Ben.
Yeah, it does look a bit like me as well.
So now we'll pop this in.
How are you getting on over there, Lauren, with your decorating?
Just finished.
Have you? Can we have a look?
Yeah.
Just while Dudley's loading that. Look at that! Look, in the time that we have been doing the show. Oh, fantastic. We like that. And that goes to show you the sort of thing that you can do with the gun when it's working. And it was working, we did the wrong cable plugged in. Right, we've literally got 1 minute left.
Alright. Let's
just while you're doing that, I'll just remind you, because we do a giveaway. What are we giving away? We're giving away one of the flowers. Can we give away one of the flowers? Or the egg?
Yeah, we were thinking the egg, yeah.
If you would like the egg that Lauren has decorated on the show, the 3D printed egg, all you've got to do, of course, is to share the Facebook page. Share the Facebook page, and we'll pick somebody at random to win the decorated egg. Thank you for that, Lauren.
Alright, so now...
Literally probably got 30 seconds left.
This is quick, so we will weld like so the cone.
Look at that.
Of the flower. So that is pretty much done. We'll give a blob in the center to add the stamen.
That's just incredible. And when you think, you can see now how you can create something like that.
Yeah. So
Brilliant.
That's welded.
And there we go.
Yeah.
So you get the idea. You can see how you can create it. We hope you've had a great time here watching the craft show. Thank you to Dudley. Thank you to Lauren. Don't forget to check out the link on the screen, and we will see you again very soon. Goodbye.